What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a good day. So we're back in the barn again, and this time we're working on my truck. So I've had my original CTS, well, they call it just a CTS, but it's a CTS1 for forever. And I finally upgraded. I ended up getting the new 3. There's just a little pamphlet of it. But that's not entirely what this video is going to be about. I ended up also picking up an EGT probe finally. I was going to go with a regular gauge, but the gauges, like the factory match gauge for this truck was like almost $300. So I just figured, why not spend $180 on Edge's probe, and it's one less thing I got to hang up. And so yeah, so that's what I ended up doing. So I got their probe. I'll show you that here. So that's what it is. This was actually, they call it the EAS starter pack, and I think that's just because it's got the main cable in it that plugs into the wiring harness. So got that cable. We got the cable for the probe. This ugly color brown, so I'm probably going to end up running that in a piece of wire loom. And then here's the probe itself. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to pull fender liner off and actually drill and tap into the manifold. I do believe it's a quarter NPT. I'll double check that, but yeah, so I'm gonna take you guys along on this journey with you and show you how to, I don't know, we're gonna figure it out together. We're gonna set it up on it and everything, so we'll catch you guys on the install. Alrighty, so I lied. It was an 1/8 inch 27, and that requires a 21/64 drill bit. So we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna drill this hole. Alrighty, hole is drilled. Now I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum that out. Alright, so you know how the old saying goes, do as I say and not as I do. That's how I'm gonna tap that. I happen to be a machinist and halfway know what I'm doing with taps. So yeah, don't do this. Now that was just to start it. Now I got my wrench here. So another thing, NPTs are tapered. It's a tapered thread. I'll show you the tap. You might be able to see it, you might not. Nope, I lied. I'm not going to show you the tap. So all I'm doing here is I'm trying to just take it deep enough to where this goes in but doesn't go way into the cylinder. So like that, I need to go deeper because I can only get about a little bit of a turn started. Thread that back down and in there. We'll add a little more lubrication. And we will continue. So if I had a thread gauge like I do at work, I could get that pretty damn close within the first couple shots, but here I do not. Oh, but that's perfect as is. So all I'm doing there, so let's count here. That's half a turn, one turn, half a turn, 2 turns. So we're 2 turns in. And once I start to tighten that down, it'll probably go to 3. So which will be a perfect amount for our thread depth that we want with this. Because we don't want the tip of this super far into the cylinder. Because then, sorry, let me get back in the video. So you don't want a lot of that tip hanging down in the cylinder. You know, so we only want it, you know, the top of it to be about there. That way we're not restricting any flow or nothing like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up, and then I'll catch back up with you when I want to thread this in. Alrighty, so we got our fitting here. I took some brake cleaner off camera and cleaned all that up. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to take that and as soon as I can find where the thread wants to grab, we're going to thread her in. Okay, just got a, that's a 14 millimeter, and like I said before, you know, it's started a little bit, so this, we're just gonna take and drive her in. Now, pipe threads, they don't have to be super, super tight, and we're gonna call that good. So, that's installed. I don't know if you guys can, oh yeah, you guys can barely see the tip of that now. Now I'm gonna go grab the EGT probe and we're gonna put that in. So in the instructions, they made it very clear not to bend that 90 degree in any which way, shape, or form. Just an FYI, I don't really know if that's too important or not. So we're gonna slip that in there and we're gonna tighten up that little ferrule nut. And they also said snug it, and then you want to turn the probe itself into its final resting place, so 90 degrees off where you're going to go to. So once I get this snug down on here, I guess we'll take it to its final resting place, as they called it. Alright, so that's kind of snuggish, and I can't turn that, so that's, I didn't know what the heck they were talking about, so we'll just back that off a smidge bit, and I'm going to turn this by hand back to where I want it, and I want it there because I'm going to run it right up this firewall here. Right there is where I'm going to run that, so. Alrighty, so I got the wire connected and it runs right up with my crankcase vent. I ended up wrapping that ugly brown wire in some nice black loom. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run it this way, and then all the rest of the slack will be in that cable underneath the dash. So that's where I'm gonna leave all the slack. We've got that wire run across there. It actually fits up under those little bolt heads pretty nicely and it stays. So there's our main part. It goes down there, down into the firewall. And then I got it, it comes through, and then there's the rest of it coiled up there. And I'm just gonna take it and run it something like that. Alrighty, so it's all plugged in. Got it all run nice. Go ahead and we're gonna snap this cover back on like so. Alright, I'm gonna roll my windows real quick. There it is. Okay, so what I ended up having to do, I called Edge because I was completely lost. So let's get that zoomed in. There we go. So what I did is I had to unplug. I tried to unplug it right from the back here, and it still, I plugged it back in and this didn't pop up. So what they told me to do was to unplug it all the way back and then work my way from the sensor to here, this monitor being the last thing, and then he said this will pop up. So now we're new AAS. Would you like to configure them? Yes. Click save. Then we'll exit. And then we should be able to pull up our gauges. Which sucks because I'm gonna have to reset this up again, which I really didn't have it set up too much, but unless it remembers the truck, which it probably does, but we'll see. There we go. Alright, so he said it'd be under the advanced PIDs. Oh, nope, not that. Oh, come on. Hold on, I'm gonna hang this back up. Back in action. He said it'd be the first one there. Which it was. So I guess when you know what you're doing, it works just fine. There we go. There's our EGTs. Oh yeah. Alrighty, so that's how you do that. I'm assuming for any of the other EAS stuff it's the same thing. It should pop up. If it doesn't, I guess you gotta unplug stuff and work your way back to it. But it took me 20 minutes to put that probe in and get it wired in. And it took me 45 minutes to figure that out before I broke down and called them. But it is what it is. So if you're stopping in for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video on your way out, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. So I was just getting ready to upload this video, and something came in the mail. Bam! Fancy, fancy. Thanks, Greg A.